My name is Lydia, and today, I want to share a story from my life, a lesson I learned when I was young. Listening to stories like this can help you learn English, understand emotions, and discover new words. This story is about trust, mistakes, and finding strength. I hope it inspires you and teaches you something important. I grew up in a small village where the air was fresh, and the people were kind. Every morning, I walked to school with my friends. We laughed, played, and enjoyed life's simple moments. I was a cheerful and curious girl, always excited to make new friends. One day, a new boy named Daniel arrived in our village. He was a few years older than me, with a kind smile and a confident way of speaking. Everyone liked him, and I did too. He was funny, smart, and made people feel special. Soon, Daniel started visiting my family. He helped my parents with small tasks and played with my younger siblings. My parents trusted him, thinking he was a good role model for us. I trusted him too. Daniel often asked about my dreams. When I told him I wanted to be a teacher, he smiled and said, "You are smart. You can do anything you want." No one had ever told me that before, and his words filled my heart with happiness. At first, his attention felt like a gift. He helped me with schoolwork, taught me new things, and made me feel important. But I was too young to understand that trust could be used in the wrong way. Over time, Daniel became a big part of my life. He was always around, walking me home, carrying my books, telling me stories. I began to see him as my best friend. One day, he gave me a bracelet made of colorful beads. "This is for you," he said with a smile. "Because you're special." I was overjoyed and wore it every day. Daniel started sharing secrets about his life, telling me how lonely and unhappy his childhood had been. I felt sorry for him and wanted to help. He also told me to keep our friendship a secret. "People might not understand," he said. I didn't question it because I trusted him. Slowly, Daniel began testing my trust. Sometimes, he asked me for small favors, keeping his notes or sharing my lunch. These little secrets made me feel important. But then, he started asking for more. One afternoon, Daniel suggested skipping school. "Just one day," he said. "We'll have fun. No one will know." I felt nervous, but I didn't want to disappoint him. I believed he cared about me, so I agreed. We went to a quiet spot near the river, where he told stories and made me laugh. But then, his questions changed. "Do you trust me?" he asked. I nodded. Of course, I did, but then, he started asking me to do things that didn't feel right. "This is our secret," he whispered. "You can't tell anyone." I felt confused. I didn't want to lose his friendship, but something inside me felt uneasy. I started doubting myself. Maybe I wasn't a good friend. Maybe I wasn't smart enough to understand him. I felt small, trapped by his words. He made me believe I owed him something because he had been kind to me. One day, my teacher noticed I wasn't paying attention in class. She gently asked, "Lydia, is everything okay?" I wanted to tell her. But I was scared. What if Daniel got angry? What if my parents didn't believe me, but my teacher didn't give up? She said, "Lydia, you are strong and smart. If something is wrong, you can tell me. I will help you." Her words gave me courage. That night, I thought about everything. I realized that a true friend wouldn't make me feel bad, wouldn't ask me to keep secrets, or pressure me into doing things I didn't want to do. The next day, I told my teacher everything. It was hard, but after speaking up, I felt lighter, as if a heavy burden had been lifted. She listened carefully and assured me that I had done the right thing. She spoke to my parents, who were shocked. They hadn't realized what was happening. Daniel was asked to leave the village. My parents told me I was brave. "This was not your fault," they said. You deserve to feel safe and happy. After Daniel left, I felt a mix of emotions, sadness, anger, confusion, but also pride. I had found the strength to stand up for myself. My teacher reminded me, Lydia, you have a kind heart. Don't let this experience change that. Learn from it and grow stronger. I refocused on my dreams. I wanted to become a teacher, not just to teach lessons, but to help children feel safe and confident. I wanted to make sure no one else felt the way I had. Over time, I learned to trust people again, but I also learned to trust my own feelings. If something doesn't feel right, it's okay to say no. It's okay to ask for help. This experience taught me an important lesson. Kindness and trust are beautiful, but they should never be taken for granted. I learned that I am stronger than I thought. Now, I share my story to inspire others. I tell children to speak up if something feels wrong. I remind them to trust themselves and to remember that they are never alone. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it teaches you something valuable. Learning English is like listening to stories. It helps you grow and understand the world better. Always trust your heart and be brave. You are stronger than you know.